Hello everyone, Jose here, Joy of Fish Keeping. I've made a couple of videos which I'll be posting the links below on things that I have used over time to make life a little easier with changes of water and also time-saving tips. A few people sparked some interest on how to make some of these things. As I said in the previous video, sometimes you use your things and you assume that they certainly anybody can do it. And certainly we all have different abilities, and what may seem to like common sense to me or to somebody else is not the same for everybody. So this one is on the inline temperature gauge. If you have the luxury, to say it that way, depending what part of the world you are living, to have hot and cold water, this inline piece really makes a big difference. There's two variations of it. This is the one that I'm using currently. There was a previous one that I've used before, which I will show you. I am putting currently this piece of paper towel there. As you've noticed, it makes a big difference on the noise level if I'm using the Python. I try not to use the Python too much to withdraw unless I'm doing gravel back, because there's a huge waste of water. I don't have a shortage of water where I live, but in some places wasting of water, or in general wasting any resources, is not a good thing. So I use external pumps to pump the water out, and then I just add the water later on so I don't waste all that water. I would tell you how to make both options where you are. This one was slightly more expensive. The gauge, it is a little bit smaller, but I prefer, to be honest, the other one is a little bit bigger, so a little bit more clumsy. I dropped it once and broke the glass. It was still functional, but I said let me find something else, and I decided to found this one, but the other one is equally good but certainly a lot less expensive. One of the things that I like about this one is the gauge is much larger, and for some of us who are older and dying eyes, certainly at a quick glance it's easier to see. At the back there's this little screw that you see, there's a little nut. If you turn it, you can adjust the temperature to be exactly what's coming out at the end if you use an outside thermometer, so it is actually quite accurate. The idea was to replace this on the left with the inline thermometer on the right. If you check out the previous videos, which I will link again below, all the standard Python hose connection I've replaced with quick connects. I've taken the unit apart so you can see what's involved with this. For those of you who have used the Python, you know what this is, but for if you have not used one, this is the primarily the working piece of the Python. Water at high pressure will pass through a very narrow area, and it creates a suction which allows you to drain the water from the tank and allows you to do what you need to do. This piece here is just a standard garden hose swivel, so you can attach to the part that I've already removed, which I show you in the previous picture. And this is just a threaded nipple. It's a standard thread. The other one, the other side of the swivel there, the one that I turned, these are garden hose thread, so just be aware that they are different and they don't match yourself. Inside there is a black gasket which will allow you to have a seal. The threaded nipple will need a sealing device like the Teflon tape. Always remember that the threads are right-handed, so they will go clockwise, and you will need to also put the tape in a clockwise direction so that when you do connect it, it doesn't unwind it. This part of the hose will certainly be under pressure, so getting a tight seal will be a nice thing to do. So far this is the nipple and the garden hose swivel. Again, Teflon tape on a clockwise from left to right. This is the actual bob, the more expensive one. It is quite accurate, as I noted before. You can get it online. There are other devices that you could find, but this one, I said, it's a smaller gauge. It is easy to read, but you have to kind of get a little closer to see the numbers. The larger one, I prefer the actual gauge. So this one, again, because it is a garden hose connection, does have the rubber seal again. The nipple there has tape on it. It is a garden hose. It does have the gasket. The Teflon tape there is just really redundant. It was already there, but it's really not required as long as you have a gasket. And this other piece here, I've removed the original Python hose part, and I put this adapter for garden hose. At home, if you have a damaged hose, this is something that you will use to repair the hose. You cut the hose off, you put that on. You need this clamp to get the hose tight around the connector there, because again, it is going to be under pressure. Once you get this on, you tighten it nicely with a screwdriver, and you're almost pretty much done with this part. This is much easier than the previous part that I show you. There is no gluing or anything else to the rest of the piece. You pretty much are done with this. Once you make sure that all your connections are tight and secure, most of these have the rubber gasket from the hose. So once you make them nice and tight, I use the wrench there because this is not really going to be, sometimes you move the hose in one way and it may loosen it, so I just make sure that it's really tight. Now the gauge, I have it turned kind of sideways a little bit. When I have it attached to the faucet, I could see it from the side without getting right over it. This temperature gauge, I really like this one after changing it. Again, the other one is smaller. It's a little bit harder to see. This one is a threaded piece right there. This is a temperature probe. So it is a lot less expensive, for between $10 to $15, depending which one you get. Now you will need this T-piece here. When I went looking, I just had an adapter there because I did not find one that was directly threaded, but you can get them. If you can get the right combination of threaded on both ends where the temperature probe is going to go, it's also threaded there like I'm showing on screen. You will need Teflon tape in order to get this on. And again, you remember you're going to put the tape in the same direction that you're screwing, so it will be from left to right clockwise. And you can see the temperature probe sticking through there. This one, as I said before, if the temperature is off a little bit from the testing temperature when you do an external thermometer, you should be able to make slight adjustment to calibrate it so that if it's 84, it will be 84 reading on the gauge, so you can really rely on it. So this one, I'm placing it over the other one, so the only thing that's changing really is the actual gauge. You should be the same pieces connecting to the same threaded pieces. You may need one or two adapters. See, that's a female adapter on the hose, so you may just need a male adapter going from the hose to the threaded pipe or the appropriate pipe nipple, but otherwise you'll be fine. This one is a great thermometer. I like the larger one because of the visibility on it, but again, any type that you use can actually work well. So this essentially is the same, so both units are nice. It's a great tool to have at your side. I hope some of you found this helpful, and if you can put it to use, it would be nice, again, as this is a nice little thing to have at your side. Thank you so much for your support and watching the channel.